like some backstory on this trip and how it came to be. I made a friend from Germany at college, and she really wanted to go to Chicago. So we were gonna go to Chicago, me, her, and like maybe 2 other girls after the last week of school, but basically that didn't end up working out. But I got excited to go to Chicago, you know, like a trip, and so I decided to just go myself this summer. And so I was always planning on going at some point this summer. And then when I got my work schedule for this week, for some reason I want to work like at least 5 days a week, but they only scheduled me to work Friday and Saturday. So I was like, all right, I'm not scheduled the week. It's the perfect time. I have the week available to go to Chicago, because I was gonna ask off at some point, but since I get the week off just because they didn't schedule me, I'd rather do that than ask off, because like I want to work whenever I have the opportunity to work. And so it was the perfect time, and I was like, I might not get this opportunity again, because like in the future when I'm an adult, like I know I'm legally technically an adult now, but I'm hopefully gonna be blessed to have a good stable job and stable income, but with that it comes like stable, reliable hours, and it's not as easy to ask off, you know, like you've got to work. You can't, it's not like a, you know, high school day job. Maybe y'all have a family and have those obligations. I'm never going to be 18 again with just the opportunity to just decide to go to Chicago. And so I really want to take advantage of this time in my life, you know, like I have summer, and that's another thing, when I graduate, if I have a job full time, like I'm never going to get summer breaks again, because I'm not going to be a teacher or anything. That's the only thing really with like a summer break. And so like this is the perfect time of my life to do it. Yeah, I'm excited, bro. And I don't want it to sound like the future just gets worse from here, and like I'm not gonna be able to go on trips when I'm older, because obviously adults still go on vacations, but it's usually more like planned, you know. You don't get as many opportunities to be as spontaneous with like big things like this. And if I do get the opportunity to be spontaneous when I'm in the future, great, but I don't know what it's gonna be like. I know whatever it is, it's gonna be great, but you know, I just gotta take advantage of the moment while I'm in it, you know? Freaking yeah, dude. And literally, solo trips are so underrated. I don't understand why more people don't do them, because unless you're like have really bad anxiety and like freak out and have a panic attack, or like freaking out about, you know, being murdered or something, then like, you know, obviously that wouldn't be an enjoyable experience if you're worried about dying the whole time. But, you know, if you're more carefree and stuff, then like I think people should do it more often. Like if you have people to go with, then that's great, but in my case I just don't, just because people I know, either it's just like all guys, and I don't really want to go on a trip with like just a guy, like overnight trips. It's hard to find a girl to go with me to an abandoned place like near my house, let alone going on a trip like 5 hours away to a big city, and let alone even being allowed to or available. So it's just difficult, and it's just way easier to just go myself. Plus, I get to explore as much as I want. Like, I want to go off and explore things, and then they might want to leave, or like go do something else, or they get tired, and then I have to like entertain them and feel like I need to do that and make sure they're having a good time, which like is okay. Like, I still love hanging out with big groups of people, but I used to, like, whenever I'd go to the mall with friends, I'd go to the mall like the day before, just so I can like go explore and walk off on my own myself, so that when I go with them I can just stay with them, because anyone that's hung out with me knows that I can just wander off. So it's better myself. It's just so much more freeing, you know. You can take as much time as you want to, not feel rushed. There's certain things that I'm interested in that other people aren't, and if I'm with other people, then like I'm happy to do what they want to do, but that's just like a positive aspect of solo trips. And going on a trip in the car by myself, I can be as loud as I freaking want to! Woo! Also, people say a lot that traveling is like way too expensive, and I get that, because it definitely can be, but there are lots of ways to make it a lot cheaper and still get to see places but not have to pay as much. It's just that most people aren't willing to do those things. Sorry if it's like I'm screaming. I just don't know if like my car is like too loud to where like it can't hear, and I don't know if I can edit that in post. I don't know if I know how to do that or have the software for that. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, cheaper. So I feel like I'm screaming, bro. This isn't natural. Pro tip for frugality. Just don't be high maintenance. Or high maintenance, I guess, is like above standard. Just don't be medium maintenance. Just be low, be low maintenance. That's what I am. Well, not all of it. I try to be. Especially myself. Like, there's not a lot of things I'm willing to pay for. I'm willing to like walk 9 miles and not have to pay for parking, and I'm willing to spend the night in my car in like a gas station parking lot to not have to spend money on a hotel, which in Chicago it's like $255 a night. Like, nah, I ain't got no money for that. I do, but I just ain't willing to spend it on that, because that's money that I gotta spend on gas, because gas is a necessity. I couldn't get there without gas. Like, there's just no way around it. But with those things, like, there's ways around it, you know? And with food, you can pack food. I didn't end up doing that because I honestly should have, but I was just ready to go and I didn't know what to pack, and yeah. But I have enough Chick-fil-A points saved up for 7 free sandwiches, and my whole life I've like rarely ever spent money on food, because just living at home with my parents getting me what I need, I just didn't have a reason to spend money on consumables. Like, I don't need it, you know? I pay for things that last, not just like eating a burger and then like my money just being gone, you know? I just don't like the idea of that. I know I'm gonna have to do it when I'm like out of the house, but at this point in my life, I'm taking advantage of the moment and saving my money when I don't gotta spend money on food, you know? So since I haven't spent money on that, anytime someone's got me a food gift card, I either gave it to my mom and then she gave me cash for it, or I just saved them if it was like a restaurant she didn't like. And so I still have those because I knew I'd save them for when I'm an adult one day and have no choice, and like my parents don't buy me food anymore and I'm living on my own and gotta buy my own food, because I knew that like that's when I'm gonna need it, you know? When I was like a 14-year-old and like my parents, like, they don't let me starve, like, I'm fine, I don't need to spend extra money on food, you know? I can spend money on other things, like experiences. That time has come, you guys. So I have all those gift cards up from like my whole life, honestly. And so I brought those with me on the trip, and I'm good, bro. I'm good. I don't have to pay for food. Like, I probably pay for something somewhere if I see something interesting that, like, I don't know, but I don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for lodging if you sleep in your car, and you don't have to pay for parking if you're willing to park like long ways away. Like, I walked home from work one day like 9 miles. Like, one time I left my keys somewhere and walked home like 13 miles. Like, you can do it. Like, people just aren't willing to do it, but it can be done. Like Thomas Jefferson says, walking is the best possible exercise. Habituate yourself to walk very far. Prevent that osteoporosis, you guys. And like, if someone ever gives me money or I just randomly get money, like, I don't see it as like, oh, I have some extra money now, time to go like spend it on whatever. Like, I'm like, oh, you know, I had that unexpected expense like 3 years ago, so I'm just gonna use it to cover that. Okay, so when I was at home packing, I thought about this but didn't end up doing it, and I regret it. I thought about bringing like a small short pair of heels, and like at least one like nice outfit, just in case I like want to take a picture and stuff. But I didn't do it. I just brought that because I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna be wearing that. Like, but I wish I did, because I was thinking about it in certain videos I'm thinking about making right now, and also just pictures. Like, I think it'd be cool to have like a nice looking outfit, you know? And I regret it. So there's only one thing I can do. I just gotta go back to Chicago another time this summer. Sorry, Mom and Dad.